On November 6th, that was Wednesday night this past week, Twitter set its offer price at $45.10, peaking at $50 and closing shy of $45. That's just slightly below the opening price. So many financial analysts are asking if Twitter is a must-buy or a successful long-term buy and hold. Let's take a look.
The social networking service Twitter was incorporated in 2007. 7 years later, with a user base of at least 230 million monthly active users, the company has yet to show a profit. But that didn't deter investors from Twitter's IPO, which opened this week. The stock opened at $45.93 a share, hit an early high of $46.94, recoiled to $42.32, and as of midday Friday, hovered around $44 a share. Sources tell Reuters Twitter's IPO is now massively oversubscribed. That makes S&P Capital IQ analyst Scott Kessler leery.
It seems like a lot of people are really kind of focused on this notion of Twitter being global business, a global brand with a lot of growth potential. And we agree with that notion. But to be valued at upwards of $20 billion potentially without any profits at this point, or we think through next year, their kind of margin of safety is a lot more narrow than for other companies that have been around for a while.
During the roadshow, investors haven't focused much on the pricing, instead raising concerns about their advertising strategy and their international growth plans. Chris Beghini, Senior Portfolio Manager, Turner Investments.
You're buying an investment that's right now very heavily used, very dramatically under-monetized, and really has a company team that's really focused on driving revenue growth over the coming years. And that's where the excitement lies.
With trading underway, the social media company, listed as TWTR, now has a market capitalization of just under $25 billion.
Joining us in the Twitter sphere, if you will, is Dee Dee Benke, Paul Auster, and Dr. Jose Lopez from Sacred Heart University. Seton Hall University, pardon me. Yes, I'm so sorry, I don't know why I said that. Because you've been on the show and you're a friend of us here at Fresh Outlook, so my apologies. All right, so we saw all this craziness in the media this week. Twitter was being tweeted itself all week long. Lay it out for us. You're the financial money guy there, Paul. So just explain to us. We saw highs, we saw lows. Where do we go from here? Do we buy or not buy?
Don't buy.
Don't buy.
The current valuation, the PE ratio has Twitter at about 49 to 1. To give you an example, Exxon, it's been around over 100 years, is 1 to 1. In the tech arena, Apple is 3 to 1. Facebook and LinkedIn are like 12 to 1. So at 49 to 1, the average investor should sit on the sidelines and watch this circus play out.
All right, so do you think if somebody buys right now, though, they say some of the people that did buy and they hold on to it for 6 months, they may fare quite well?
Well, if you bought at the IPO, if you're lucky enough to be with one of the hedge funds and investment firms at 26, you're okay right now. But look at it over the past couple of days, it actually lost about $3 per share, down about 7%. So if you bought it at 45 at the open, or unfortunately at 55 was the peak, then you've lost money. And
okay.
If you're the average person, that's not good.
So we're going to be sitting here on the sidelines, call you back in a month and talk about Twitter in about a month and see how it's doing?
Here's the interesting thing. Over the past 10 years, 2 out of 3 tech stocks have lost about 11% of their value in the first 3 months. So after 3 months, then we can take a look at what the real valuation is.
Okay, now we're going to go back to talk about Facebook versus Twitter in just a little bit. But we want to go to Dr. Jose Lopez from Seton Hall University. Of course, you're the science guy, so let's talk about the science of Twitter, if you will. Take us through a little bit about what has made this such an overwhelming phenomenon.
Well, Twitter is very straightforward. It's a blogging, but it's microblogging. So 140 characters is the maximum you can put there. So very short sentences, effectively ideas can be moved around very quickly. People subscribe to it. You have your followers, and you work with that way. What's better about this than any other kind of messaging? It's platform, not platform dependent. It could be on laptops. It could be on mobile phones. And it's on televisions even these days when you buy any modern television. So it's very, very user friendly and easy and cross-platform specific. So that's what's
Well, we're
great
going to talk
about
about the science of Twitter. Not that there is true science, but some people say to to be more successful at it. But I want to talk to you, Dee Dee, because if we see Dee Dee, here she is on time,
always
tweeting all the time.
I have 24,000 tweets. Seriously.
That's,
yeah, because I tweet all the time. I'm a big believer, and I think Facebook's so yesterday. And everybody lost, it's true, everybody lost money on that.
But that's part of the problem. Yeah. When you look at the valuation of Twitter, you do, but the stickiness involved in the tech stocks, look, no one mentions MySpace anymore.
No.
No,
But
you're right.
at one point in time, that was the go-to social media company. They may have started the whole trend, and no one even talks about it anymore.
I think they did start the trend. I think it's fair to say that, actually.
It was.
But again, tell me just, you've got your 24,000, but tell me why you like it so much, why you've embraced it so much.
It changes your life. If you're not tweeting, I think you're so out of it because, for business purposes, for social purposes, and news. Why look at the 3 broadcast stations? Because you find out the information first by tweets. Always. It's always the first because it's this big network and someone is going to pick it up. So you have this world of people that you pick up information from. I would never not tweet. I'm looking at it constantly, all the time. I'm always plugged in. Still do Facebook. There's Pinterest, there's other things. But I think tweeting definitely is your best bet.
But as Dee Dee said, she said that Facebook is so yesterday. Stocks-wise and in terms of as an investment, is Facebook so yesterday?
It can be. It can become that way very, very quickly, and that's why you have to invest in the management team. Unfortunately for Twitter, they've had some great acquisitions lately, and what they're really looking to do, like you had mentioned in the multimedia section, and become a part of broadcast television. Like Dee Dee had mentioned, things happen, on a split second, and Twitter consistently brings news to the table faster than the networks can, because you know how it is to get a story together and get it online. Someone's tweeting that in 2 seconds. So there is some play there that Twitter can become this multimedia go-to platform for the world. And we're not just talking about the United States.
When you look at a company, though, and not just the stock itself, do you research like the management and do you take a look at all that stuff? Do you like?
If you don't do it in the tech world, you're done, because product for product, Twitter doesn't have a product.
Right.
There are no tangible products that they're selling. It's not the best coffee cup in the world. It's an intangible idea about how we're going to communicate, the new paradigm in communication, and the management team better be leading the company in the right direction.
Do you like that management team?
I do. I'm a fan of Twitter. I just wouldn't buy it.
But how do you make money from it? That's what I was going to ask, because it's just like Facebook. All these investors of Facebook, they lost money, or a lot of people.
But Facebook is now showing the monetization of mobile advertising. 80% of the revenue comes from mobile-generated advertising. So Twitter becomes a very powerful engine. When you look at someone who likes, if you follow Taco Bell, okay, so Taco Bell wants to know that, and they want to know when you're near a Taco Bell, and they can hit you with a tweet that says, hey, come in right now and we'll give you a free taco.
Hey, I've had that happen. I've been in a restaurant and said, who knew this was so good? And they go, oh, thank you. And then they give a deal or whatever. Seriously, you can get good deals out of it.
Yeah, so the analytics that surround Twitter is what makes it a very high-valued potential company for sure.
But we saw the tech bubble.
Oh. We're sitting on it.
We're sitting on it.
But we've gone back and forth with different products. Is this going to be another one, do you think?
It could be. Again, that's why the average investor who says, oh, why couldn't I get in? Be careful what you wish for. Because
I know, because I'm always like, I should have bought that stock.
Yeah, listen, you have plenty of time to get in on the ground floor of the, people, if you missed Apple and you missed Microsoft, you have time to get in on Twitter. Sit on the sidelines like you should until this thing plays out, and then if you want to get in, get in.
And call Paul Oster to find out when, right?
That's right. Don't call me, tweet me.
Tweet Paul Oster.
Yeah, what's your Twitter handle? Well, let's just talk about, I know we were talking, we touched on it just briefly, but how, the science of really getting more and more people, and you were saying that you have to retweet and you have to, but there are actually companies now that are completely and solely dedicated to making you a success at Twitter. And they're building their business on this. So let's just talk about how you become successful. If we're going to give our viewers the tips on becoming successful at Twitter.
Well,
Dr. Lopez?
First, you have to have something to tweet
Well,
about.
to tweet, right.
Right,
Well,
so-
we're going to tweet about what we're talking about right here.
Right. So you have to start there, and then I guess Paul was mentioning before the segment started, you have to get people to followers, obviously, and then you have to get a good follower that has a whole lot of other followers, and then you're going to exponential growth from there. I mean, that would be the way to do it, but there are professional companies that are doing this.
There are, and the thing I'd like to say is that social media is not free. The one thing that it's going to take, our most valuable commodity, is time.
Time.
Dee Dee said she tweets all the time. So when she's doing that, that's her valuable time. She is expending that resource to tweet. Now, is there a return on the investment? Absolutely.
Yes.
But it's not free. So social media takes time and dedication and commitment on a daily basis. What you're going to say, it's got to be good. If it's no good, people will unfollow you just as quickly as they followed you.
The same thing with Facebook and things like that. But that is so as you said, it's a little bit in the past right now. LinkedIn. What about LinkedIn? We're still, a lot of people say that that's probably the best thing for business folks.
Again, it's a great professional social media tool. Facebook is a little bit more personal for people in business who send me a friend request on Facebook. I just usually say, I reserve Facebook for my immediate friends and family.
Well,
Contact me.
Mr. Gosh,
let's
Mr.
go-
Elitist.
Contact me
On
on
TV.
LinkedIn.
Let's go friend Paul and see if he
Yeah,
I'll
let's
take
see
you
if they'll
guys.
friend
I'll
us.
take you guys. I'll accept you.
Well, and here's the other thing that I see people that, now, did I say 24 million, 24,000? I said 24,000 tweets. But, you know, I see these people that have all these followers, and I'm like, you know what, there's no way. They bought them.
They bought them.
People buy followers all the time. I would never do that. I think that's so lame. I think it definitely shows, because, you know, if you're just kind of a regular person hanging out, do you really think you're going to have like 24 million followers or whatever it is? No, it's not possible.
Let's talk about also this whole thing about investments and how they have become some instant millionaires also.
Billionaires.
Or billionaires, I should say. Yeah. I mean, I guess it's almost like playing it's almost like a lottery ticket to some people that they think they might hit it at that time. How dangerous is that, Paul?
Again, for the average person, you don't belong in that arena because you could lose as quickly as you could win. There was a bunch of articles this week about talking about going down to Atlantic City, and you want to take your 401k and put it on red or black.
Oh my.
That's a 50-50 chance. Those odds are better than tech IPOs.
Yes.
And we just got done saying two out of three IPOs lose money in the first 3 months.
But we are seeing quite a few of those instant billionaires as well.
You see them because it's a big media hype right now. There were 188 IPOs this year already. How many did we hear about?
3?
Basically 3 of them.
Right.
So 188 other companies came on, became publicly traded companies. That's up an amazing 55% from last year. So when you talk about the fundamentals of the economy, things are getting better for sure. You don't have that kind of spike in IPOs, but a tremendous amount of them have been tech companies.
Well, if you were to say what your favorite tech company, well, we might as well get a little.
Wow.
Yeah. Insider advice. But what's one of your favorite companies? I mean, since you look at a lot of...
Facebook, by and large, you know, I'm a big fan of what they're doing. But Twitter is probably the second one, although I didn't talk about it very highly in terms of...
I'm yawning over here.
when you're investing. But Twitter is going to bring a tremendous amount of new direction into the multimedia age.
I think we're all going to be talking about this and watching and having you back to talk about it in probably about a month to see what's happening in the Twitter sphere. All right, well, don't go away, everyone. The lightning round is next, where we will talk about everything from football to dinosaurs. If you didn't hear the news, scientists in Utah this week say they have discovered Tyrannosaurus Rex's great uncle. We're going to check in with the experts on this one. Don't go away. We'll be back with much more here on Fresh Outlook.